Cancer, I hope you had amazing holidays. We're going to cross the New Year's in a few days. And this is why we're here. We're going to do a Celtic cross. We're going to wrap up this 2022. But before we do the Celtic cross, I want to draw a creativity oracle card first. And get some words of wisdom for you. I want a card to come out by itself. And so it did. You have push. Don't feel inadequate. Forget how to quit. Push on, no matter how things look. I'm really glad you got this card, Cancer. I have a feeling you've had many experiences where you've had to push, so you know how to recognize that you're in one of those moments again, once more in your life, right? So let's shuffle these cards. I will draw. I will not wait for pop-outs for the Celtic cross. There's a pile that turned, but it didn't, it was just like, anyway. I saw the Seven of Cups in reverse. That's all I saw. All right, let's do this. First card, Page of Rods, Page of Wands, upright. What crosses you is the Nine of Rods, Nine of Wands in reverse. What crowns you is the Six of Rods in reverse. All rods so far. What is beneath you is the Ace of Pentacles. What is in your recent past is the Queen of Swords. In your near future is the Wheel of Fortune. In your power, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Your environment is the Two of Rods, Two of Wands. Your hopes and fears is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And the outcome is the Knight of Rods in reverse. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 10 cards are rods. That's a lot of fire. A lot of fire for you. I'm mesmerized by the Wheel of Fortune, right? It comes out in your near future. I mean, of course, I'm dying to tell you, yes, things will change. Of course they will change. I am sensing that you're on a threshold, right? There's really like a tipping point at the moment, but you haven't crossed it. Like you're nearing the tipping point, I should say. You're not quite on the tip, like on the tip of the tipping point. So it's very close. There's ambivalence here a little bit. I don't know if it's something that comes with moving forward, maybe comes with experiencing maybe failure first. I mean, we do have what's crowning you is the Six of Rods, right? Six of Wands in reverse. There's something that is not successful, or at least in the public's eyes, right? Maybe you don't feel that way, but it's a possibility that even for you, you might be disappointed in the results. Okay, that's clear. Yet it doesn't influence the good things that might be coming, or overall just a change in general, which if you've hit a low point should be a high point, right? Whatever's coming should be a higher point. I feel that you're somewhat exhausted in your hopes and fears. You're dreading having to work. I think you're dreading having to work in sequence, right? Routine really kills you. You do need a lot more change than most people. At least in this reading, you do. You have, this is in the past, or at least, it's what's beneath you. So it's relatively current or relatively fairly just past, right? It's in that gray zone of. The reason I'm mentioning this is that it feels that you've started something that I feel has failed. You started something fairly recently, and it has fairly recently sort of failed. And I'm sorry to use the word fail, but it didn't work out. So let's, there's no two ways to say this, really. Part of the reason it didn't work out, I think, is you didn't like, something was very boxy, keeping you very boxed in. I don't think you felt very comfortable. I don't think that you were able to express all of what you thought, all of what you planned, everything that you projected, everything that you envisioned and were intent on creating. Didn't have time to hatch, really. It stayed pretty much at a very early stage. The environment, this card is in the environment, so things had barely started taking shape, right? And that's all the environment got to see. That's why I'm saying that. Then comes the change. I guess it's the recent energies of the last week. All the transits have been quite spectacularly full of energy, at least in terms of shifting everybody into the new year, right? It's doing the same for you, but in a more drastic way. There's the push here is also, you're being pushed. Life is just carrying you. You're being moved along, and it's a good thing. I feel it's very positive. You were really tired, you had such a beautiful idea. You were so crazy about it, right? You were so full of eager. You were so eager for it. And you did a very good job at mapping it. With the Queen of Swords, you really had a beautiful design in mind. But I think something kept it from becoming. So I'm not sure if it's a lack of routine or a lack of, I'm sorry, a lack of having to deal with routines. It doesn't make sense to say, like, it's complicated for nothing. Hold on, let me, basically you didn't enjoy the routine. You didn't enjoy it. It was working around the clock. It was more of the same every day. It made you lose motivation. It made you feel less committed. It made you feel weary. Just as much as you had eagerness at the beginning, that routine-like or the boxed-in feeling, or seeing that the environment was only catching it at a superficial level, really like just a very basic embryonic level or image, right? They couldn't envision what you had in mind. They would only see a portion. You had much bigger plans, and this you didn't get, I guess, people to see through your eyes, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what made it fail. I'm not even sure that it's a complete failure. I just think that there's a huge change coming. But I do sense that it is you leaving that particular endeavor that you started. You are gonna have to. You don't have a choice. Because this is the Wheel of Fortune. You don't get to control much with that energy. It happens. But that's life. That's life carrying you, moving you along for something else, right? I am sensing that you're sort of, you know, digging your heels. You don't want to go that easily, or you don't want to move along swiftly, at least. I think you maybe feel a bit torn about, you know, pushing, basically, like literally having to push and be pushed. Maybe there's a little bit of, obviously, you know, you might have been disappointed that things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But overall, you're tired. I want to show you. You're very tired. You have all these cards: the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Wands in reverse. You're tired, and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse is showing me that you're having a hard time putting in the hours. I mean, you are, but it's difficult. I also feel that it's taken a toll on your family life. Like at home, it could have been really difficult, especially if you put in many hours. It's funny that the card, the Oracle, speaks of don't feel inadequate, because these two, the Nine and the Knight of Rods, are in reverse. And this clearly would point to feelings of inadequacy, right? Especially in the face of something that in your eyes, or even in the public's eyes, might have not been successful. I want to go back to the Wheel of Fortune. There's a great feeling in this reading about you wanting to be successful at all costs. Like, it's almost like this is the baseline. It's at the bottom of the Celtic cross. It's like your base energy is always about starting, creating success, creating more money, creating energy, right? Making it flow. It's these two energies combined. It's like your signature kind of thing. So I don't think that that's been lost at all. It's just a matter of circumstantially what's happening, and it feels greater than you. It feels like this Wheel of Fortune is really, life is really taking you somewhere else. There's something else for you. And you know, I'm thinking there's a slight possibility that the same thing could have a, you know, a turn of events, right? And suddenly become more successful or have success, right? It might turn out. There's a possibility that it's the same thing that actually works out, succeeds. But what I'm sensing mainly is that life is taking you to something else, towards something else. What that is, it's not being said. Because the outcome is more being the Knight. It's telling me more about you. I think that you want out. I think the Knight of Wands here, when he's in reverse, he just wants to, like, you know, take off. I think you've had enough. I think you're tired. I think you feel less committed to this particular thing, no matter how beautiful it was at the beginning and no matter how eager you were prior. It's what I'm seeing tonight. So I hope something resonated in here for you, even just a tad. If it did, you can like the video, share, subscribe, of course, but mostly come back. Thank you. Good night.